The price is wrong, Bob.
As golf's missing link, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore is directed by Dennis Dugan and written by Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler. The film stars Adam Sandler, Christopher McDonald, Julia Bowen, and Carl Weathers. According to IMDb's plot synopsis, after his grandmother's house is repossessed by the IRS, a bad-tempered hockey player takes his talents to golf to earn the big bucks and get his grandmother's house back. Adam Sandler is one of those comedic actors who you love or hate. Depending on who you are as a person, what your comedy taste is, either you love what Adam Sandler does, which is usually his childish antics, loudmouth type of behavior. If you're into that, you will love it. If you are somebody who likes more smarter, satirical type of comedy, you're not going to get that with Adam Sandler. The man is who he is because of this type of comedy. The same man has been doing his shtick since his SNL days back in 1990 as a writer, but then became a cast member in 1991. After his stint, Sandler started appearing more in comedy films, with Billy Madison being the first one to really showcase how he is as a comedy lead, and then this film in particular. A lot of people usually tend to see these two movies as kind of pretty much being like the gold standard of what people want out of an Adam Sandler film. Happy Gilmore is just one of those films that is just a fun time to watch Sandler do his thing. Again, if you love his comedy, you will love this film. If you don't like his comedy, you will not like this film. It depends on your taste and your preference of comedy. After rewatching this, after many years, and it has been a very long time since I rewatched this movie, it's still a good time. I'm not gonna lie, Adam Sandler's comedy does work on me, if it works, because there have been many instances where it has not worked at all. And although there are some issues with this film, it's a funny Sandler film through and through. If you enjoy Adam Sandler, I don't think anyone would ever find this movie to be bad. I think most generally people that are either fans of his or just people who just want to watch a good comedy movie, I think will get a kick out of this film. But before addressing the problems that I see with it, here are the positives. The performances are funny. Adam Sandler is a joy and a hoot to watch, as happy as Sandler brings his style to this hockey-turned golfer. Along with McDonald and Weathers, they keep making the film entertaining. Adam Sandler, this was the peak of his career. After SNL and after Billy Madison, this was the height of his popularity, and it still wouldn't be the same without it. Sure, Billy Madison, everyone loves that movie. I enjoy that film too. But I honestly think when I hear or talk about Adam Sandler, I always think about Happy Gilmore, because he's just a crass but also lovable guy. As much as Happy Gilmore is a true character in of itself, can't deny Sandman brings his type of flair of comedy to him, and that's what makes him so endearing, is because Adam Sandler tries to infuse not just his style of comedy, but also tries to bring a little bit of humility at times, where you do see that Happy does care about things. I mean, not only does he care about hockey, he cares about his grandmother. He loves her so much, he is close to her and wants nothing more than the best for her. And so when this happens to his grandmother's house, he feels like it is his responsibility to really try to help out and raise money so that way she can have her house back. And for that, I think it's just cool seeing Adam Sandler just strung us along with this character and just seeing the antics that he gets up to. And of course, Christopher McDonald, hilarious as Shooter McGavin. As much as he is such a total prick and an asshole, the type that you do not want to come into contact with, Christopher McDonald, I mean, he's just really good as Shooter, and he's just a real treat to watch when he's just going back and forth with Sandler in a couple of scenes. And Carl Weathers, rest in peace to him. Love the man. He will always be remembered to me for sort of like Apollo Creed, or even Dylan from Predator, or even most recently with Greek Karga in the Mandalorian series. But you can't deny he can be pretty funny, man. He can really bring a lot of laughs and a lot of humor to this film, and he does a couple of times. And he has a good back and forth banter with Adam Sandler, rest in peace to him. Such a huge loss, but one in which I can now appreciate rewatching this movie and realizing how much he can really be a funny guy. The direction is fun. Director Dennis Dugan goes along with Sandler's brand and knows how to just have a laugh, making it a good time to be on set. If there is something that I do like seeing with regards to a director, is knowing that when it comes to a comedy movie, if you can go along with what the comedic star is going for as well as what this film's premise is, I think you'll have a fun time. And it really does seem like Dennis Dugan really wanted the atmosphere to be as fun and as enjoyable as it can for a story like this. You cannot help but feel like everyone was having a real fun time on set, especially when there were things in this movie that not only Sandman brought, but also really the moments in which they brought in something like Bob Barker. The Bob Barker scene, I think, is just hilarious. I think it is easily one of the best moments in not just the movie, but out of recent comedy movies. I think I still laugh at this scene because of how much Bob Barker and Adam Sandler, they work off each other pretty well. But I really think that Dennis Dugan just realized the absurdity of this movie and just wanted this all to just be purely fun, and that's what I got the feeling when watching it. The writing is hilarious. Writers Herlihy and Sandler crafts a script that is outrageous, but not outlandish at delivering the jokes. If this had gone so over the top in terms of trying to be as wacky and as silly as it is, I think that could be a problem. But because it's more of outrageous on just really Happy Gilmore being that and Shooter than it is everyone else, I think that's what works about the movie. Because if they had gone for the same level of comedy with Adam Sandler, then I do think they could have gotten outlandish and ridiculous. But because everything else surrounding Happy is more so normal, I think that's what works about it. Because Happy is just different. Okay, let's just say that. He's a very different person compared to everybody else. And to see everyone kind of either love him or hate him, can't deny that it's all due to Tim Herlihy and Adam Sandler's writing that helps make the film exciting and honestly making some of the most memorable and quotable lines in a comedy movie in recent years. I think most people will not deny, people will always quote the "you eat pieces of shit for breakfast" or "you will not make this putt, you jackass," or whatever it is. The script was able to find ways to keep it, again, outrageous, but not outlandish to the point of it's ridiculous. The story is a blast. Watching Happy trying to save his grandmother's house and learning to play golf was just a good time. Something that you just don't see a lot of in these comedy movies. If you think a lot of times when you see comedy films today, it almost feels like it becomes so overblown with their ideas and it goes overboard and it becomes obnoxious sometimes, or it just gets to a point of it does become kind of stupid. This one, it's just simple. He's just trying to raise money to save his grandmother's house. That's it. There's nothing else. It's just that. And it's just funny to combine the idea of him not only being a hockey player, but also him turning into a golfer, but still trying to act as if like this is hockey. And it's just cool seeing Happy try to one-up Shooter McGavin and trying to showcase a different side of what golf can be, as much as it's not. But in Happy's own way, it's special to him, and he can still keep it entertaining and showcasing how much that golf can really bring the craziness out of people sometimes, or just the outrageous things of it. The pacing runtime is quick. Each scene is enough to do the jokes and progress the story. With a runtime of 1 hour and 32 minutes, it's short and sweet. I was surprised on how much this movie goes. It never lets up, it never stops. It just keeps going and going and going. There's maybe one part I will say, and I will get to that in a little bit, but I was really impressed on how much this film never let up. There was not a point where the film completely stops or drops off. It just manages to know what it is and do it in a short amount of time without having to overstay its welcome. The music is enjoyable. While Mother's Bog score isn't something necessarily amazing, the licensed music, on the other hand, works well. It just fits with what the film is supposed to be, and the style of Adam Sandler, I think, fits with what the music should provide for it. And thankfully that licensed music does work, because otherwise, like, the music is fine, it's whatever, but it's the licensed music, I think, that's sprinkled throughout this movie that I think really helps it out. The production is comparable. For a movie like this, there was a decent production value that doesn't make it look cheap, but not expensive. Because I saw that the budget for this movie was $12 million back in 1996. That was cheap. But nowadays, we kind of would look at that and say, we wish we had something like that more often. And something just I wish most movies were like today, because a lot of the times you just still see movies trying so hard to be in the $100 to $200 million range, even $300 million range. I'm just glad that a comedy movie like this back then, not as big or as cheap as it is, it just was a sweet spot where it just fit perfectly. Though it's fun, there are things that don't land quite in the golf hole. So to me, here are now the negatives. The product placement is much, though not as egregious as some other films can be. It can get a little bit much, especially when Subway gets into the mix, because, listen, I love Subway. I do. I mean, most recently they are promoting the hell out of their Happy Gilmore 2, and while I enjoy that, I'm not gonna lie, it does at one point stop the movie, because I'm being serious. It really stops the movie to do an in-movie commercial, and like, okay, fine, but then you have AT&T, and the amount of times that Subway is in this film, pretty much they were the spokesperson for this film and trying to help the movie out. So I get it, but even still, it's weird when it just has to literally stop the film for what it is. The nursing home subplot is uneventful. While Ben Stiller's appearance made it so enjoyable, I thought he was so hilarious, and it was just really cool to see Ben Stiller in a 90s movie like this with that look. Yeah, it doesn't serve much than kicking grandma out of the house and putting her somewhere. I really think you could just put her in Happy's apartment. He even says that at one point. She's like, oh no, that's okay. Alright, but I feel like this was just here so that way she's just put somewhere else. It just doesn't feel like for a movie like this, Happy wouldn't have mind her staying at his apartment. But really, the subplot itself, like, there's no ending. Like, I legit thought when I was younger there was an ending to this with Happy and Ben Stiller's character. I legit thought that he found out what he had done to her and he beat the crap out of him. But apparently not, because after the movie was done, I'm like, oh, that's it? I legit thought that there was a scene in which he beats up Ben Stiller's character, but I guess not. So it just kind of feels like it came and it went, and it just ended there. The montages are abundant, though the movie is quick and it shows Happy's skill. I get it. That's the whole point of the film, and sometimes there are parts where it does add to the joke of what the scene is. I feel like they add more than they needed to. It just kind of feels like they didn't have a lot of footage, so they're like, all right, well, we need the crowd to go crazy, so we could just add footage to the movie, so that's what we're going to do. And it could be fine, but they add, I think, to me, just a bit more than I would have wanted, because there are times where those scenes can add to something, like when Happy's playing golf with Bob Barker. That adds to it. But when it comes to, like, just throughout the movie, when it does show Happy trying to hit the ball across the green, alright, sure, but it just seems like they add more footage of just having Sandler just going crazy and wild, and it honestly just feels as if, like, they just need to find space and time to fill, so they just add a few of those scenes in so that way it could just help pad it out a bit more. Which, again, the movie's still short. I'm just saying, it just feels like they added it there so that way they could just make it even longer. Sandler just knew how to bring the joy and funny nature to Happy. To this day, people will always laugh and enjoy what this movie is. If you know what you're getting into when it comes to Adam Sandler, but just his style of comedy, you will be fine with this movie. If not, then I'm telling you, it just isn't. It might not be the best comedy film ever made. I'm not going to deny that. But to me, and I think to so many other people, it's Sandler's best comedy film. I think this or Billy Madison are regarded as his best comedy work to date. Nothing will ever beat those two movies. No matter how many comedy movies Sandler will put out, they're never going to top those two films. And I honestly think that this movie in particular, I think most people are thinking is so synonymous to Adam Sandler that there's no way you could see anybody else doing it. I'm going to give Happy Gilmore a 7 out of 10. It's an enjoyable, fun time if you are willing to go along with it and have yourself a grand old time watching Adam Sandler just doing his childish, potty mouth humor. It'll run with you. And even though he will continue to do that for many years, it works really nicely into this movie, and one in which I found myself laughing quite a bit a lot of the time. So I will be soon doing a review for the second Happy Gilmore film that will be out this Friday. So yes, look forward to that review and other reviews coming soon.